Hello and welcome to another YuGiOh video, and today we are bringing on Carlo's Dragon Link deck list that made top 8 at the recent Portsmouth Regional. Now, if you haven't already checked out the other deck profiles, definitely take a look at them after this one, but I am so excited to be bringing you guys a Dragon Link deck. It's one of my favourite versions that has appeared in recent months of just any competitive deck. I really like how it operates, how it's structured, and the artwork is, of course, phenomenal. So this is Carlo's list, and let's dive right into it. So we kick things off with double Absoluta, triple Ash, one Collapse Serpent, one Black Metal, one Legionnaire, one Destrudo, two Magna Rokket, one Brotor, one Red MD, one Recharger, triple Tracer, and double Silver Rokket, triple Safer, the pricey card within this deck, in the main deck at least, one Wyverburster, 2 Boot Sector Launch. You only need the 2, it's searchable with your Striker Dragon, triple Call by the Grave, because you do actually need to be able to get off your first play. If your Striker Dragon gets hand trapped while you don't have a Boot Sector, it can be really tough actually for the deck to combo off. And then double Cosmic Cyclone because Mystic Mine is the thing, 1 Ravine, 1 Shrine, 1 Foolish Burial, 2 Instant Fusion, this is quite interesting as well. Triple Quick Launch because it's not once per turn, that's absolutely crazy. And then double World Legacy Guard Dragon. That's it for the main deck, no traps here, and for the extra deck we see the instant fusion target is the Darkfire Dragon. So a really nice, interesting tech here. It is a level 4, so although you don't actually have rank 4s within this deck, this does actually allow you to go into your Striker Dragon. Then there's a Boral Savage Dragon, Beak Cop, Borosword, Delendurous Dragon. If you don't know what this does, have a quick read of the effects, but basically you put this and your Quad Boral on board, and then you can pop this and then go and extend your plays, and essentially you turn 2 link materials into 4 link materials with this card. It's really crazy. And then 1 Romulus, 1 LP, 1 Pisty, 1 Hieratic Seal, 1 Quad Boral, triple Striker, 1 Triple Burst, and 1 Unchained Abomination. This is like, there's not tons of removal in the extra deck. You have a few negates and you've got your seal to bounce some stuff, and the Quad Boral actually outs some stuff as well. But really you need to capitalize on the fact that Abomination can pop stuff so often, because if you, say, leave the monster that's up by Quick Launch, it gets destroyed during the end phase. That means you have a destruction, so you have another destruction off this. So really it's sort of like protect this guy and keep popping your opponent's stuff. And generally, if your opponent does break your board, they'll be on fairly low resources because you destroy a load of their stuff during their turn, and then you should have enough resources left to just go into a Borosword and kill them. For the side deck, triple Droll, 1 Quacky Mary Drago. You can summon this off the Hieratic Seal after you bounce something from your opponent. 1 Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend for time. The 3rd Cosmic Cyclone, 2 Forbidden Chalice because obviously Shaddoll is a thing now, although it wasn't super popular at the Portsmouth event. That's definitely something you have to watch out for. Triple Lightning Storm, 1 MST Classic here, and triple Evenly Matched. So that is it for the list itself. Let's go on to the rounds and the siding strategy which Carlo has provided for us. So we kick things off with the rounds, 7-round event and only a single loss. The first round loss is actually to Orcus Pure. This is Ryan's list, so you can check out his deck profile as well, also on the channel. Round 2 against Crusadia Rocket Link, a 2-0 here. Round 3 against Trickstar Gren Maju, a 2-1. Round 4 against Salamangrate, a 2-1. Round 5 against Loonlight, a 1-1 draw here. And then round 6 against Altergeist, a 2-1, and round 7 against Loonlight. Second time around takes the win home with a 2-1 victory. So overall, X1-1 record, so really strong, taking him into top 8. For the siding strategy, against the back row decks, you obviously put in the Mystical Space Typhoon and the Cosmic Cyclone, and thankfully these can go in whether you're going first or second, unlike the Lightning Storms and Evenlies, which can only go in when you're going second, really, unless your opponent's playing relatively slowly. He's taking out the Destrudo and the Dragon Shrine, which I think is pretty reasonable. An interesting thing to note, because a lot of these Dragon decks aren't playing a Yazi, the Destrudo doesn't offer as much utility as it potentially could. Generally it's just sort of a way to go into your Pisty or your LP depending on how your combo pans out. He's also taking out some of the hand traps here as well when going second, in order to stack on all of that back row removal for the deck, because really if you can out the back row you can probably kill your opponent in those matchups. Against the combo decks, 1 Droll and 1 Drago go in when going first, taking out 1 Dragon Shrine and a Destrudo, and then going second, triple Droll comes in. It's just probably the most prevalent hand trap of the current format. as it stands. And then for the Trickstar, Spiral, and Magical Musket, so putting in the Chalices when going first, if you stop one of their effects, you're generally pretty fine. And then when going second, obviously they're all sort of searchy decks, so just putting in the Drolls is very, very strong here. And then finally for Shaddoll, obviously the Chalices come in when you're going first or second because you just have to be able to out the Winder, but we see pretty much every time he's taking out the Destrudo and a copy of Shrine or Foolish Burial. These are the cards that you don't really need to win your matches. And then for general strategy, the deck is of course built to go first before siding, but after siding versus most matchups you will actually choose to go second with this. With the typical end board is Hieratic Seal with Unchained Abomination and a Boral Load Savage Dragon, so you have one at choice interrupt, one destruction, and one negate of anything, so very, very nice there. The deck's win condition is pretty much just make your Boral Sword an OTK and push for damage after they fail to break your initial setup. You're not expecting it to last totally, but you'll definitely survive through the first board, and they'll be on fairly low resources, so you can just break them after that. The hardest matchups, he says, are things like Guru, Altergeist, and Evoke, hence, you've got tons of back row removal in here for Guru and Altergeist, and Evoke is just generally a pretty tough matchup at the moment. As for the free matchups, they're sort of things like Crusadia and Rogue decks, just anything where their engine is less consistent or less powerful. As for changes, he might consider putting in a third copy of Instant Fusion or Boot Sector Launch, but he wouldn't really know what to cut for them. The Starlight could also be taken out for either a second copy of Mystical Space Typhoon or one of the other cards just previously mentioned. Would he play the deck again in the future? Yeah, definitely. He says it was a really fun, very consistent and powerful deck, and definitely worth playing. And his shoutouts go to everyone on NCG, everyone at YuGiOh TCG Bournemouth, RIP the best locals. Unfortunately, they've had to shut down, or are shutting down, the Bournemouth locals, so really sad to see them go. It was a great place to actually go and play, and they would host regionals and stuff, but hopefully we'll be seeing that rise again in the future. But if you guys are in the Bournemouth area, definitely show them some support. Also shoutouts to Matt Winkle for running the event, and with all of the great judges there, Dan Bailey, Kurt Clark, Alex Everson, Tyler Convery, and Chris Hicks for all the support. Also to all of the Winchester and Southampton players too. He says he knows he's forgotten some people, but shoutouts to everyone who gave him a hand with this event and has helped him out with playing so far. So thanks very much, Carlo, for coming on and for helping us with the channel and sharing this awesome looking Dragon Link list. What do you guys think? If you want to use it right away, head into the description. You can grab a Dueling Book download link and pile it right away and see if you can take home some tops with Dragon Link. I'll see you guys in the next video.